Every time I looked up at the night sky, I saw stars, millions of them, scattered across the black. And I wondered, who was I, really? How did I end up here, on this tiny world staring at infinity? The trees around me were quiet, but above me lay a universe that never slept. A universe that had been unfolding for billions of years, long before I ever existed, and long after I was gone. I walked until I stood at the edge of a cliff. The sky above was alive with light, as if the stars themselves were calling me. Then, before my eyes, the sky opened. A portal, shimmering like a window into another reality. I stepped forward, the ground vanished, and I found myself floating in space. Where am I? I open my eyes, or maybe it's the visor of this protective suit, and below me is the blue planet. Earth, my home, our only home. From here, it looks small, a glowing marble of white clouds, deep oceans, and swirling weather systems hanging alone in the vastness of space. And yet, within that fragile sphere, everything has happened. Every dream, every war, every poem, every love, all of human history written across the skin of this tiny world. The blue is endless oceans, the white, living clouds, the green and brown, continents that have carried life for billions of years, and I wonder how unlikely it is, how miraculous. In all this darkness, here's a planet wrapped in liquid water and breathable air, warmed just enough by the sun, a cradle of life. But Earth is not eternal. Its continents drift, its climate shifts, its oceans rise and fall. Even the atmosphere itself is just a thin film clinging to the surface, so thin, it looks almost invisible from here. I see the auroras dance at the poles, green and purple ribbons born from solar winds colliding with Earth's shield. I see lightning storms flashing across the tropics like sparks of life. I see deserts glowing orange and forests stretching in endless green. And I feel something, both small and infinite, because I know that everything I am is part of this planet. Every atom of iron in my blood was forged in ancient stars, but here on Earth, those atoms came together to think, to feel, to look back at the stars. We humans forget how rare this is. We fight, we divide, we burn the very forests and oceans that give us life. But from here, borders vanish. Cities fade into dust. What remains is a single, fragile oasis, drifting in silence. Carl Sagan once called it the pale blue dot. From this vantage, he was right. Yet within that dot is music, laughter, sorrow, genius, cruelty, kindness. A world filled with contradictions, but alive with possibility. And as I float above it, I realize this is the beginning of the voyage. If we are to ever reach the edge of the universe, we must first understand this. Our journey starts on Earth, and Earth is the most precious place we know. From here, I turn my eyes outward, beyond the blue planet, toward the next world. As Earth fades into the distance, I turn my gaze inward, toward a world that has haunted our myths and challenged our science for centuries. There it is, Venus, a brilliant beacon in the twilight skies of Earth, long called the morning star and the evening star. To the ancients, it was a goddess, radiant, mysterious, eternal. To us, it is the second planet from the sun, and perhaps the most deceiving world in the solar system. From here, it glows with a pale golden light, brighter than anything else in the night sky. It looks beautiful, peaceful, almost inviting. But as I draw closer, I learn the truth. Venus is no paradise. It is a world of fire, pressure, and eternal storms. As I descend, the sunlight dims. I am entering an atmosphere so thick, so suffocating it crushes like an ocean. The clouds are not water vapor, as they are on Earth, but sulfuric acid, droplets of poison suspended in the sky. The air is heavy with carbon dioxide, a greenhouse blanket that has run wild. Temperatures here climb above 460 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt lead. The pressure at the surface is 90 times greater than Earth's. To stand here without protection would be like standing beneath an ocean a kilometer deep. And yet, Venus was once thought to be Earth's twin. Roughly the same size, the same mass, the same rocky composition. As I drift away from Venus, I feel torn. This is not a world where we can walk freely, not a place we can call home, but it is part of us. A sibling to Earth, born of the same dust, yet twisted into a cautionary tale. I think of how we gaze at Venus from Earth, so bright, so beautiful, a symbol of love. And I realize that beauty can be deceiving. Sometimes what looks like paradise is only a mask for hell. As Venus fades into the distance, I turn my course inward, toward the heart of the solar system. The light grows brighter, fiercer. Ahead lies Mercury, the smallest of all the planets. A world of extremes, a world of silence, a world that has endured in the shadow of the sun for billions of years. From afar, it looks like the moon, gray, cratered, ancient. But Mercury is not the moon. It is a planet forged in fire, scorched by radiation, and forever bound to the sun's embrace. To draw near is to feel the raw power of gravity and heat. To stand here would be to face both fire and ice at once. Mercury spins slowly, trapped in a strange rhythm with the sun. 3 rotations for every 2 orbits. This means a single day here, from one sunrise to the next, lasts 176 Earth days. Imagine standing on the surface, watching the sun crawl across the horizon. It would take weeks, months, before it set. And when it did, darkness would fall with brutal cold. On the day side, temperatures soar to 430 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt metals. On the night side, without an atmosphere to hold the heat, they plummet to minus 180 degrees Celsius. A world of extremes switching between blazing furnace and frozen desert. The surface is scarred by craters, vast basins, and cliffs hundreds of kilometers long, giant scars where the planet's crust collapsed as it cooled. These cliffs are taller than mountains on Earth, reminders that Mercury is still shrinking as its iron heart cools within. Yet, even here, close to the sun, there are secrets of ice. In craters near the poles, where sunlight never reaches, frozen water lies hidden in eternal shadow. Ice, so close to the sun, preserved for billions of years. Mercury has no thick atmosphere, only a fragile exosphere. Atoms blown away by the solar wind, replenished again and again. This thin veil cannot shield the planet from radiation or meteors. Mercury is battered, exposed, raw. It has endured the chaos of the solar system since its birth, unchanged, a survivor in the truest sense. From the surface, the sun would appear more than twice as large as from Earth. It would blaze so fiercely that shadows turn black, sharp, cutting across the rocks. And yet, in the distance, stars still shine in the eternal night. Mercury feels like a paradox, so close to the sun, and yet so silent, so still. Standing here, I think about beginnings. Mercury is the closest witness to the sun's birth. A planet forged in the chaos of creation. It has no oceans, no air, no life, but it carries a story, the story of survival at the edge of fire. And so I turn away. Behind me are Earth and Venus. Beneath me is Mercury, the lonely sentinel. Ahead lies the sun itself, vast, eternal, inescapable. As I drift closer, the brilliance grows until it is all around me. The sun, our star, the engine of life, the keeper of time, the beating heart of the solar system. From a distance, it is simply light. But up close, it's alive, a roiling ocean of plasma, boiling and twisting forever in motion. Its surface, the photosphere, ripples with convection cells, each one the size of continents. Sunspots, dark and magnetic, mark regions of violent energy. Above them, solar flares erupt, arcs of fire stretching hundreds of thousands of kilometers into space, releasing more energy in minutes than all of humanity has used in its entire history. And yet the sun is stable, balanced. Gravity pulls inward, fusion pushes outward, and for billions of years this perfect symmetry has allowed life to exist on our fragile blue planet. Deep in its core, hydrogen atoms fuse into helium, releasing light that takes thousands, even millions of years to journey to the surface, and just 8 minutes more to reach Earth. The sunlight that warms your face today began its voyage before humans even walked the Earth. But the sun is not immortal. In about 5 billion years, its fuel will dwindle, its heart will contract, and its outer layers will swell into a red giant, swallowing Mercury, Venus, and perhaps even Earth. Later still, it will shed its glowing skin, leaving behind a white dwarf, the fading ember of a once mighty star. As I hover here, the sun feels eternal, indestructible. Yet it too is mortal. Like us, it was born, it lives, and one day it will die. I pull back, leaving the furnace behind. Ahead lies a world painted in red dust, a planet that has captured our dreams of exploration more than any other, Mars, the next step on this voyage through the solar system.